2025 into order, and just we'll have a roll call if you checked that you're present. And just so you know, Jess Hodak, our clerk, is still our clerk today. She just happens to be online. She's someplace warm. It's called Jacksonville. Going shark fishing, I guess.
Is Patty there? I can mark her present.
Yes.
Okay.
You gotta click on it though. Demerit.
Who you missing, Jess?
Who you missing, Jess?
Efforts and Moen and McCready.
And Jamie won't be here, and Carol said she'd be late, and I don't know about Bill. So right now you've got, what, 26 present, 3 absent?
Correct.
Okay. All right, public notification.
Wendy Coleman, my executive assistant, has complied with Wisconsin open meeting requirements. Meeting agendas have been posted on electronic meeting notice boards located on the first and second floor of the Government Center and on the first floor of the Justice Center. A hard copy of the meeting agenda is available in the county clerk's office, and she's verified the proper posting of this meeting. We will be working off the amended agenda, which was posted on April 11th at 9:14 a.m.
Okay. The invocation will be by Pastor Eric Burrow from Emmanuel Baptist in Rice Lake.
Let's pray. Lord, thank you again for these men and women that are willing to serve our county. Thank you for our county and the resources that you've given. Pray now you would give them wisdom and understanding in the different issues that face our area, and I pray that you would give these men and women the ability to represent their districts well. Lord, I pray all of this in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I better not stand silently. Okay, special matters. First of all, I'd like to thank Carolyn for the excellent job she did last month. Keep her up. She's ready to go again. Yeah. Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that. All right. Our sheriff would like to discuss some things with you.
Yeah. Dress up, you look good, you sound good, right? That's how we're going to go with that anyway. So I'd like to make sure the county board has factual data in regards to several topics that have been talked about or brought up over the past couple meetings, and thought this was a good way to get you factual data instead of me reaching out individually to each of you. Those of you who have reached out, I appreciate asking for clarified information. As you're well aware, the 980 subjects are not under the control of the Sheriff's Department or the county, and the county's stuck with them. We did put in place some security measures, cameras, etc., at no cost to the taxpayers. This was equipment we had at the time that we were not using in any location and was used here to monitor the area. It will be randomly put here in other areas across the county for investigative purposes, safety, and security. We have received legal advice that the deputy is not doing anything illegal and that we cannot restrict the freedom of our employees and what they do off duty in this case. Also, a few meetings ago, it was brought up that we could house the 980 subject at the jail or outside the jail. They cannot be housed in the jail as they are not in custody. The idea of housing them outside the jail was tossed around, but due to the daycare and school in the vicinity, they cannot be placed there. As far as spending money, again, I want to remind everybody that we've been saving for this jail project for years and have saved well more than the project costs. And the county has used the savings of out-of-county revenue to reduce the tax levy. You've also received a sheet from Mr. French reference the taxes in Chetek. That was referenced in the meeting, and I think that information is good to clarify some of the issues. The Sheriff's Department continues to come under budget every year while continuing to implement new programs, continuing to provide increased safety equipment for our deputies, and continuing to increase public interaction on a positive level. A comment was made about working with our PDs. We do that, and I've never turned down a PD, never charged a PD for any mutual aid at any time, especially in the time of need, as in Cameron and Chetek. nor have they charged us. We continue to cover for the PDs when they attend trainings, sick time, and shifts they can't cover, or shifts they choose not to fill in any case that they need help with. Again, it was stated that we should save money, and I continue to do that every day, and will continue to give our municipalities options to save money by combining services. I think we have a great product that we put out there, and we will continue to offer that as a cost-saving measures to local municipalities, if they choose. In the most recent case, we gave the Village of Cameron options, assisted them in the transition, conducted a background check of their new chief at no cost, and continue to help their new chief with whatever he needs. I tell you all this because I think it's important to get complete and accurate information. I know you all stand by the decisions we make, and I know there are differences on this board and how things should happen, but I appreciate the trust you have in me, other department heads, and Mr. French, as we have the same trust in all of you. Sometimes we take things personal. I know I can, because I care, and I think that's one of the greatest things our strengths our county has right now, is we all care and want what is not best for ourselves, but what is best for this county. Sometimes that comes with great discussion, and I always welcome any input from any board member or citizen, but with that conversation on my behalf to either explain what we did, why we did something, what we can do in why we can't do it that way, or what it will take to implement your idea. So I just wanted to pass on some information, some factual data on different comments that have been made. And again, I appreciate the ones that have reached out, and I thought in talking with Jeff and Louie, this was the best way to make sure that everybody has the factual data on some of our topics. So I appreciate the time.
Sheriff, do you want to entertain questions or not?
I sure can. I have no problem.
Anybody have any questions based on what the sheriff disclosed to you? Okay. Diane, or Supervisor Vaughn?
I received a call from a citizen near the 980s, and they're wondering what will happen after this year is up. So as I understand, it's a year right now. What happens then? Who decides that?
The state of Wisconsin. We have no say on what happens. As far as I know, nothing. And I'm basing that on what happened 25 years ago with the only other 980 we've had in this county. And everything just continues on. They continue to get, how it described to me, and Chief Deputy Hagan might have more input with this, as they continue to get more freedoms as they earn them. But they're still under the supervision of an agent, of people checking them. But again, we, Mr. Minch, I, Mr. French, have no decision-making in that. That is strictly a state of Wisconsin. Am I correct in that? Yes. Okay. Eventually, they'll be able to apply to be able to go to work or do something that, again, if they apply within that first year, they have to be supervised while at work. We are alerted if there's a change, but we are just alerted for our reference not to do anything.
Supervisor Schradel. You want to turn your mic on, Bill?
Yeah, Sheriff, I talked to one of our fellow church members, and he shall be remain nameless at this point, but he's worked with you different times, and since you've been elected, and thought you got a big load and you carry it very well, he said.
I appreciate that. So I think we do a great job. I am blessed to have a great team, and that starts in this room, and I've said that many a times to you, and I think some of the information that you get is not always complete. I don't think anybody's doing that with any maliciousness, but I don't think they know all of the details. And again, I appreciate you reaching out. And again, I went to Louie and Jeff and said, how can I get a better picture? Jeff said, this is what Special Matters and Announcement is for, and that's why we're doing what we're doing here today. So just so that you guys make sure you get the complete picture.
Supervisor Patty Anderson.
Sheriff, would you email what you just read to us so that I can share that with the diners, because there's a lot of conversation going on at Thursdays.
Be happy to email that out to the county board members.
That would be Positive Thursday. Thank you.
It's Positive Tuesday. I skipped that today because it didn't happen.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Supervisor Hanson.
The little house next to our store in Rice Lake has parolees in it. And my son was concerned in the beginning, but he said, cops are there every day, multiple times. It's better than it ever was.
I can't tell you why they're there, but we have had zero issues with the 980 subjects. I mean, zero issues with them. So again, We're not out there. We don't control them. We can't check on them. That is the state of Wisconsin and Wisconsin Department of Probation.
Any other questions? Seeing none, thanks, Chris. Jeff?
Okay, I have several things to talk about. Number one, all the county board members need to take your fishing training. It's a huge deal. Fishing is bad. It could cost us millions of dollars, so please take your training. Second, thank you for everybody that attended Town Day. I thought it was fantastic. I got lots of good compliments, nearly 30 vendors there. People from the towns that talked to me were like, this is great. Instead of us having to go to vendors, they came to us. We got to look at stuff. So, and thank you to Mike for some of the things that were put on. The one that I attended was really great. And then finally, for you ladies, Supervisor Mosentine on the 28th is having an open house, and you've been notified about that out at the Highway Department. And so we look forward for you ladies to take that in. That's the three that I had. And fourth, I would say, is our man shed is becoming very popular out at the Highway Department. 58 elderly men attended last time, all positive. It's really great for the caretakers to have a break when they're doing this. So it's been a real positive move, and Jen and company deserve a lot of kudos for that. And Mike for opening up the facility and letting them walk around and do stuff. It's great for men to learn about, maple syruping and other things. So it's a really good program. And we're only two counties in the state have this program. So that shows you how hard Jen and company work. So.
Okay. Item number 5, approve the agenda. You got something else?
Yep, I would ask you to approve the agenda, but on item number 9, the resolution authorizing the contract with Market & Johnson, there will be a slight wording change, and I did that on purpose because we didn't know the winning bidder until yesterday, so I will provide that information for you, but we just need a small wording change.
Okay, motion by Supervisor Heller, seconded by Supervisor Olson. Supervisor Turcott, you have a question? Oh, okay, you got it, there's a light on, but all right. All right, seeing no questions or concerns, let's vote on the agenda.
We're still waiting on Punky.
Does that happen to you a lot, Punky, where the God comes and talks to you? Okay, that passed by 27 yes and 2 absent. We've got 28 here now because Supervisor Efforts and Supervisor Mullen are here. So did you, okay, so Carol is a positive vote. So it's really 28 yes and one absent. Okay, item number 6, approve the minutes of March 17th, 2025. Motion by Supervisor Cook, second by Supervisor Langman. Any concerns with the minutes? Seeing none, let's vote.
Yes, we're just waiting on Carol software.
And Bill Efforts as well. If you both wanted to state how you voted, I could mark it in.
Yes.
Okay, so they both voted yes, so it's a 28 yes and 1 absent. Thank you. Item number 7, public comment. I don't believe we had any. Okay. Item number 8, resolution awarding the sale of $4,950,000 general obligation corporate purpose bonds, Series 2025A. Now, this one will need a 3/4 vote, which is 22 supervisors. Yeah. Sean, you like to handle this for us?
May I just say something
You
before?
bet.
Yeah, just so you know, the bonds were sold at a premium of $130,000. So there is an updated resolution which we can show you, or Sean will talk about, but the bond sale will be for $4,820,000, not 4.95, because there's a $130,000 premium. So we cut the bond proceeds back and did not take the premium. So we actually borrowed less money.
Hey,
Thank you.
Sean, you're on.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to everybody. I've got a quick sale day report I'd like to go through with you. We conducted the sale yesterday morning. It was around noon yesterday, with the idea then of bringing you the results this morning. And after your vote, we'll notify the parties and the winning bidder. So if I could, Jody, if you could go to Exhibit 1, before going through the sale results, we'd like to update the county board on your bond rating. And as the folks will remember, we get a bond rating because the better our rating, the lower the interest rates, the lower the cost to the county taxpayers for the debt that you issue. And I'm happy to say, after a long discussion with Standard & Poor's, or more commonly known as S&P, they have affirmed the AA rating of the county with a stable outlook. AAA is the very best rating, then there's a AA plus, and then a AA. When county board members, if you haven't already, when you have a chance, I would encourage you to read the report. The impression I'm left when I read it, and I do get to read a lot of these, is that the county is really doing, so you guys and the staff are doing a very good job of managing the things that you have control over. So your budgeting each year, your use of debt, your financial management. They talk very positively about how the county is doing on that front. The rating itself takes all those factors into play, but they also take into factors that you really don't have any control over. So how large is the county in terms of valuation? How many people live here? How much wealth do the people that live here have? Those are things that you as elected members and the staff really don't have any control over. But the rating is just what is, all things considered, the likelihood that the county would not pay its debt. And the AA rating reflects that it's very unlikely, but some of the likeliness factors, again, are things that you have no control over. So otherwise, everybody would be a AAA. But again, a special thanks to Jeff and Jody and Louis, who was also on the call. We had a long discussion, and I think it was very positive, and the report takes that into effect. And as you read it, you'll be able to tell. Okay, Jody, if we can go to the sale bid tab. It's a couple pages in here in the sale day report. There we go. So we did the sale, as I'd mentioned, at noon yesterday. And just to give you a little bit of background, I'm sure you guys don't live in bubbles, so you saw what was going on with the financial markets last week. And Jeff and Jody and I and some of my coworkers, we spent quite a bit of time talking about, does it make sense for us to proceed with the sale today, given all the uncertainty in the market? And we gave serious consideration to delaying the sale. But a couple things played into the factor to go ahead with the sale. One was, as the week went on, and again, I think all of you probably noticed this in just general reporting about where the financial markets are, there was a trend toward stability. And then secondly, we were in the fortunate position with our sale at noon yesterday that we had the opportunity to see what happened at 9, 10, and 11 o'clock with sales all around the country. And with that information in mind, Jeff and Jody and I were able to be in communication. The decision was, it looks like the market is doing very well, and we have a lot of active bidders. The county got a number of bids on this, and most importantly, the interest rates seem in line with what our expectations were, better than what our expectations were when I was speaking with you to discuss the pre-sale report. So I'm happy to report the winning bid was from, it's actually the Bank of Oklahoma Financial Securities. They have a very active office in Milwaukee, and they had the best bid at 4.14%. If we were to scroll through the rest of the bids, they're from all over the country. I think what you'll notice is that the bidding was very tight, and that's also a good sign that the market as a whole is seeing AA strong credit rated debt like Barron County's debt in a very positive fashion. And I mentioned that, of course, what we want to do is get the best deal we can for the county and the county's taxpayers. It's also reassuring that when you have that many bidders bidding in a very tight time frame or very tight interest rate percentage difference, that it's a little bit more reassuring that the bond market is in pretty good status right now. Okay. Thank you. And then Jody, if we could go forward to the comparison sheet. This last one, and I apologize, it's a little bit difficult to see. Jody, if you can go down to the middle section. There's the one a little bit further down. There, right there. They're perfect. And if possible, can you zoom in a little bit? And this is as much for me as for anyone else here with my eyes. So, okay. Thank you, Jody. Where you see the pre-sale estimate, if you can go up just a little bit there. Perfect, Jody. Thank you. When we did the sale, we determined the winning bidder on the true interest rate. And when we did the pre-sale report, we discussed that with the county board. The pre-sale interest rate was 4.47. As I'd mentioned, the BOK Financial Securities winning bid is at 4.14%. So we're well below that planning rate that we had talked about with the county board in the last couple of months. And the other thing I'll note is, as the county board knows, you settled on an amount of $4,950,000. But I'm happy to report with the premium bid, meaning that the bidder's actually paying us more than we're asking for, we're able to take that premium, reduce what we borrow, which means then we pay less interest on the lower amount that we borrowed, and we were able to lower that borrowing down to $4,820,000 while still having more than enough proceeds to pay off the note you took out last year with the local bank and to finance this year's projects, which the largest of which is the Sallyport project. So very pleased from our perspective as the way the sale ended up. Again, we did have some concern with all of the market fluctuation last week. We would certainly encourage the board to approve the winning bid at the 4.14%. But prior to doing so, I'd be happy to answer any questions that the board members might have. And what action, Mr. Chairman, that would be necessary is approval of that resolution for the $4,820,000. I think you read the agenda item at the outset of our discussion. Again, that resolution prepared by bond counsel takes into account the reduction of the size of the issue from the $4,950,000 down to the $4,820,000. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'd open it up to any questions.
Okay, we had a motion by Supervisor Guslick and a second by Supervisor Thompson. And it was that for both of you, both at the $4,820,000. Okay. All right, a motion, question by Supervisor Cook.
Yeah, just one quick question. So we had talked before, we can prepay or refinance after 8 years?
Yeah, I should have mentioned that again as a reminder to the board. Thank you for bringing that up. The issue, if you approve the sale tonight, the interest rates will be locked in for a 20-year period. So you don't have to do anything and you'll continue to pay the agreed upon rates through the whole 20-year period. But starting in year 8, at your option, the county's option, not the bondholders, at your option, if you have cash that you'd like to apply to buy the bond issue down in whole or in part, county board could do that starting in year 8. Or if you don't have cash, let's say, but you had, we're witnessing in the market far lower interest rates, at the county's option, we could refinance and save money at that point, correct?
Supervisor Rogers.
Sean, I'm just curious, if you know, are there counties in Wisconsin, or how many counties there might be in Wisconsin that have less than a AA rating?
Yeah, I don't have at my hands the exact statistics, but I am happy to report that the majority of counties in Wisconsin are at the AA- rating or better. meaning that they have strong financial situation. If the county's interested in that, I can get that information and circulate it to Jeff and Jody. I believe, I'm going by memory, I believe we might have one or maybe two AAA counties in Wisconsin, but the majority are in the AA minus, AA or AA plus range. And I think, again, that reflects a strong tradition in Wisconsin of being very financially prudent and stable. But I'll get that information to Jeff and Jody, and they can share it with all the county board.
Any other questions? Supervisor Guslick.
Will this presentation be sent to us?
I believe so. Correct, Jeff and Jody, you guys have it?
Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, let's vote. Passed by a 3/4 of full membership with 28 yes and 1 absent. So thanks, everybody. And thanks, Sean. When you have lack of questions like that, you did an excellent job. Okay, item number 9, resolution authorizing the contract with Market and Johnson for the Barron County Secure Sallyport and Professional Visitation Addition to the Barron County Justice Center, Highway 25 North, Barron, Wisconsin, for $1,767,898. I remind you, we will need a 2/3 vote, which is 20 supervisors. And Jeff, you had some wording change?
Yes. On line number 2 of the first whereas, and I will read it beginning at line 1, we will have a wording change. As soon as our website comes up, I'll hang on just a second, give that to you. It is going to be on your electronic packet. It is going to be on the packet, it's going to be page 31, line 2. So on line 2, where it begins with the lowest bond offering solicitation from Market and Johnson, those words were just placeholders. After the word from and before, Market and Johnson should be struck, and the words BOK Financial Securities Incorporated should be inserted in there. And that's because they were awarded the bid. So, and Market and Johnson was just placeholder words. So it's BOK Financial Securities Incorporated because they were, like I said, they were awarded the bid, low bidder.
Okay, we've got a motion by Supervisor Langman and a second by Supervisor Hanson. Is your motions okay with that wording change? Any questions? Supervisor Schradel,
So Market Johnson.
you want to put that on your mic, Bill? Because they can't hear you otherwise.
Market Johnson is not going to be, Market Johnson is not going to be the contractor?
They are going to be the contractor.
They are going to be, okay,
Right.
all right.
This change is only who we awarded the bonding to.
Oh, I see, okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, let's vote. That passed with 2/3 of the full membership, so that's 28 yes and 1 absent. Thanks, everybody. Item number 10, resolution, the final budget adjustment to close the 2024 accounts. Motion by Supervisor Cook, seconded by Supervisor Rogers. Any questions on that resolution? Again, we'll need a 2/3. Seeing no questions, let's vote. Passed with 2/3 of the full membership, being 28 yes and 1 absent. Thank you. Item number 11, resolution authorizing transfer of $64,650.78 from the 2025 Barron County Contingency Fund for the Deputy County Clerk position. And this again will need 2/3. Motion by Supervisor Patty Anderson, seconded by Supervisor Gores. Any questions on this? Seeing none, let's vote. Passed with the 2/3 of the full membership, 28 yes, 1 absent. Thank you. Item number 12, resolution authorizing the roof replacement at the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire-Barron County Campus, Student Center, and Gymnasium with the use of American Rescue Plan Act ARPA funds. Again, 2/3. Motion by Supervisor Cook, seconded by Supervisor Rogers. Any questions there? Seeing none, let's vote. Passed with the 2/3 of the full membership, 28 yes, 1 absent. Thank you. Item number 13, resolution authorizing $50,000 of technology improvements to the proposed new secure Sallyport expansion and the Barron County Justice Center with the use of American Rescue Plan Act ARPA funds. Motion by Supervisor Moen, seconded by Supervisor Olson. Any questions or concerns on this resolution? Again, 2/3. Supervisor Schradel?
What's the time frame for completion?
January 2026.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, let's vote. Passed with the 2/3 of the full membership, 28 yes, 1 absent. Thanks again. Item number 14, resolution 2025 Work Zone Awareness Week in Barron County. Motion by Supervisor Hanson, seconded by Supervisor Langman. Any questions on this? It's something we do every year, and I think just about every county in the state does this. Seeing none, let's vote. Passed by a majority of the vote of the members present, 28 yes and 1 absent. Thanks again. Item number 15, resolution supporting the federal bipartisan legislation expanding direct primary care access. Motion by Supervisor Mosentine, seconded by Supervisor Olson. Motion, question by Supervisor Vaughn.
Yes, I was looking at the packet, page 46 and line 39. Let me get there, hang on just a second. It's referencing who we're going to send it to, and I would like to make a motion to include State Senator Jesse James. Since the redistricting, he is technically covering Barron County.
Okay. Do we need an
John,
amendment?
can you let me know if that actually needs a motion or if I can just
Yeah.
send that to the senator as needed?
Are you okay, Diane, if Jess tells you and I tell you and Jeff tells you that we're going to send it to Senator James, or do you want it in a motion?
I can also include you in the email to confirm that I've sent it.
I don't think so, does it, John? He'll get, I know he and Supervisor or Assemblyman Armstrong were together, so. Okay. Okay, so we've got our original motion then by Supervisor Mosenteen and second by Supervisor Olson to approve this resolution supporting the expansion of the direct primary care access, with noting that we're going to send this to, is it Assemblyman? It's a Senator Jesse James. Okay. Any questions or concerns? Not, let's vote. Passed by a majority of the members present, 28 yes, 1 absent. Item number 16, excuse me, ordinance to amend the Parks and Recreation ordinance to allow the ATV/UTV usage. Motion by Supervisor Efforts, second by Supervisor Conan. Anybody have any questions there? Seeing none, let's vote.
Just waiting on Punky.
Passed by a majority of the members present, 28 yes and 1 absent. Thanks again. Item 17, ordinance, repealing and recreating Section 50 of the Barron County Code of Ordinances regarding taxation. Motion by Supervisor Heller, seconded by Supervisor Turcott. Any questions on this ordinance? Seeing none, let's vote.
We are waiting for Audrey on this one.
Passed by a majority of the members present with 28 yes and 1 absent. Thanks again. 18, the American Rescue Plan Act expenditures. I believe in the packet, we had a balance of $437,019.66, which will be reduced by $350,000 that we authorized today. So, any questions on that? Okay. Number 19, report from our county administrator.
I haven't received any questions on the strategic plan, so I really have nothing more to say. And the only appointment I have is Barb Ryan, as requested, for the Chautauqua Library Board to represent the county board.
You
Need to vote on that, yeah.
Okay, the motion to appoint on number 20, appoint Barb Ryan to the, oh, that's right, we do have to approve that, don't we? Okay, sorry, everybody. So is that the motion by Supervisor Schneider and second by Supervisor Gores to approve the strategic plan?
We don't approve.
Yeah, the ARPA, we don't approve that.
Or the updates.
We don't
approve either of those.
Yeah.
Shouldn't.
See, I don't see what you're seeing, so.
It was jumping around on my end, but it should be where it's supposed to be now for the final strategic planning with no vote required.
So we're on to the appointments.
Okay. Everybody okay? We're on to number 20? All right. Appointments, that's Barb Ryan to the Chautauqua Library Board. Motion by Supervisor Fowler, seconded by Supervisor Banks. Any concerns with that appointment? Seeing none, let's vote. Passed by a majority of the vote of members present, 28 yes and 1 absent. Item number 21, claims, petitions, and correspondence. All right, and we don't have any. 22, suggestions for future agenda items.
Going to have two. I believe we're going to relook at the rules and procedures and have some training on that. And then we've got a request in June for the new director of WestCap to make a presentation to the county board.
Okay,
We
item,
also have Tim Deaton from the Horton Group.
oh yeah, Tim Deaton from Horton Group, okay. Item number 23, petition for the judicial review of the Public Service Commission's decision regarding Maple Grove Solar. Karen, do you want to take over this?
Want it read?
Yes, please.
I make a motion, the County Board of Supervisors go into closed session pursuant to Section 19.851E for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating purchase of public property, investing public funds, and other specific business or whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. And 19.851G for the purpose of conferring with legal counsel with respect to current or potential litigation. And those in the meeting will be the county board members.
I'm asking for Lance.
Okay, Lance, John, and Jeff.
Okay, so it's a motion by Supervisor Bartlett, seconded by Supervisor Hanson. Any questions or concerns there? Not, let's vote.
We're waiting on Audrey and Punky.
Well, Audrey's probably going to recuse herself. She did, I think she left.
Sure you did. Yes.
I'll put her down as abstain or no, which would you prefer?
Abstain, let's put her abstaining. So passed by majority, 27 yes, 1 abstention, and 1 absent. The abstention was Supervisor. Could I get somebody to make a motion that John will read? Motion by Supervisor Bartlett. Second by Supervisor Rogers. You want to read that then again, John?
Motion to confirm the action taken by the Executive Committee to file the petition for judicial review and authorize Atolis to continue with negotiations with Maple Grove Solar to conclude a joint developers agreement.
And you don't have anything about county board members on there, right?
No.
Okay, good.
So if you want to open the door. Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll take care of all the issues will be in that bargaining.
Right.
Fires,
Yeah.
explosions.
Well, that's what they're going to negotiate. That's, that's what they've been doing for a year now. Okay, we're live on YouTube here right now too, so. Okay, so can I get a motion to, oh wait, we did by, yeah, that's right.
Mr. Mensch read the motion. We need to have carried or not carried.
Is there any further discussion?
I do it?
Yeah. All those in favor of that motion, raise your hand. Okay, all those against that motion, raise your hand. All those in abstention, raise your hand. So it looks like it was unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Anything else? Yes, by unanimous consent, we'll adjourn at 10:30. Thanks, everyone.